All right.
All right.
I'm sure I'll be able to use that, and I won't have just fucked myself. I'm sure that's not even going to be the case. Why would it be? Uh, Welcome everybody to episode 10 of the Practical Nonsense Podcast. We're officially in double digits. There's a
Do 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 do. We probably should have been here already, but we're here now, and that's what truly matters.
absolutely. You know what else probably should have been here by now? Josh.
Josh, yeah.
I guess he fell asleep, but or maybe he tried to
Happens.
soup.
You tried the soup?
Yeah, you know, soup.
Yeah, maybe he did try to soup.
It's possible. All things are possible through soup. So Danny,
The soup.
what
The soup for my family.
what have you done this week? What have you been up to? I guess it's the past 2 weeks now.
Uh, Not a whole lot, man. I played some Warzone. Got pretty. Didn't win any games, but got pretty far in some of them. Played some more Phasmophobia. With my friend Sarah. That game is still fucking mint. Uh, yeah, I mean, other than that, mostly I've just been working.
Right. Uh,
Oh shit, I'm dropping Skittles.
Skittles or M&Ms?
No, I got rid of them, and I'm taking out all the Skittles now.
Oh, okay. I'll put it in the log.
For sure.
Got
Aside from logging my
rid
Skittles
of
and
Skittles. No,
piles,
M&Ms.
what have you been up to?
Um, Aside from that, not not much. I've been playing the Outer Worlds here and there. Now that it's on Steam, I've
Right.
been playing Pumpkin Jack. That game's pretty fun. It's not super involved, but it is neat. I like it a lot.
Right.
And I've started playing, uh, doing a playthrough of Amnesia.
The original or
Yeah, the original, cause
nice.
I never actually played it properly.
It is quite good.
Yeah, I have the distinct feeling that if anybody ever watches my playthrough, they're just gonna get real mad because so far I am not taking it seriously.
I mean, what the fuck ever, right?
Yeah. Well, I can't help it. That's how I play horror games. I don't take them seriously until it makes me take them seriously. That's why when the I pissed. That's why I pissed off an entire room. I pissed off an entire room of former friends because when Outlast first came out, I went over to a friend's house because he got it for his PS4, and I spent like a good 5 minutes just pushing the buttons to make you lean back and forth, going da 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 da. instead of like doing any kind of real progression or paying attention to anything going on around me.
I mean, it do be like that.
And like I think the
And,
first
especially in the first Outlast, though.
well the first monster I ran into, instead of like running from him, I just stood still and started hitting the buttons going, "Oh yeah, well how can he stand against these dance moves?"
Oh man. See, I can under. Did you do the same thing for Outlast 2? Because if you're anything like me, you couldn't. That game is genuinely horrifying.
I haven't actually played Outlast 2. For some reason, Outlast 2 came out. Like I watched a full playthrough of it, which I don't normally do that for stuff like that. But like when Outlast 2 came out, I was like, I thought about it and I was like, man, I'm really not feeling this again.
Right.
So I watched a full playthrough of it, and then after having played, I only played half of the first Outlast before, like literally, I basically got kicked out of the house, and then I watched the rest of it. But after having experienced the first Outlast, I watched the playthrough of the second one and was just like, what the fuck was any of that about?
Right.
I was like, that wasn't particularly scary. That was just kind of gross.
The second one is just my genuine nightmare. I'm just so
What,
afraid
being
of
lost
being
in rural
trapped in.
America?
Yeah. But like not just like rural America, like deep rural, like Deliverance rural.
No, I mean, I totally get it. There have been times coming back from like conventions and stuff, like late, the GPS will take me through some like back road area, and it'll be with like in an hour of where like within an hour of where I live, but still I'll be like, oh man, they So yeah, no, I totally get it. It's a real thing. So if you talk to Josh at all in the past 2 weeks?
No, actually, I don't think so.
Yeah, because neither have I, and I've been trying. I've been meaning to tell him to get Phasmophobia so that we can hunt ghosts together.
That would be sick.
It would be much easier if there were at least two people in the building and one in the truck. Oh, that reminds me. I went back and rewatched that one part where you said I basically stepped on your head getting out of the house. Yeah, I watched it like 14 times and I cannot see you. Like I can see your stuff on the ground, but I can't see you.
Well, I died right fucking there.
Like I believe you. I wish I had thought about it because I thought for like a split second about going back in to take a picture of your body for the insurance. Even though like the before having to like go back and rewatch the tape basically, I noticed the flashlight on the ground, like the random light illuminating my exit, but I didn't like piece together what it was. So when I was in the truck, I thought about going back in to take a picture for insurance, and I was like, "Oh, I have no way of knowing where he died, though." Even though you were like at the front fucking door. Have you played any more of In Silence?
No. I have not yet done that. That was really fun though.
Yeah, it's
For those
Sorry, go ahead.
for those unaware, it's asymmetrical type like horror game like Dead by Daylight or something like Left 4 Dead Versus. where you have a bunch of people working together versus like the killer. But the thing is the killer really can't see. They have to rely on hearing. They can still see to like navigate around. It's just that they can't really see anybody until they're like right close, or unless they're like illuminated.
Right.
But yeah, that was a real rip roaring good time when we played it the other night.
It's a real scary fucking experience. Because
for sure.
Like it's not real easy for you to see either. So you can just be like sneaking along, and then you'll hear footsteps, and you'll be like, "Oh man, where is that?" And then it'll walk right in front of you, like so close that you could you could lick it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Horrifying.
There's oh god, no, don't play. I just need the name of the game. Okay, there's another game that I was confused at first because I thought it was the same one, but apparently it is not. That is another multiplayer horror deal, but seems like it could be actually scarier, if you can believe it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me give me a sec to pull it up. Like it's got mixed reviews, but from what I saw of it, I was pretty spooked. It's called Sign of Silence.
I'm looking at the store page now.
Yeah, it's like there are several different monsters. They are all horrifying. In my personal opinion, it's like some Silent Hill-esque aesthetic on the monster designs. To me, anyways.
Right.
Man, especially the one that looks like a centaur from Fallout 3 but moves way faster and like drags you underground. That one's a classic.
Oh, where do you see that? How do I find that on the store page? Is that in the second trailer?
I don't know if it's in the trailer. I may have also seen gameplay of this.
Oh no, I see him. I see it. It was in the second trailer. He didn't pull anybody underground, but ooh yeah.
Oh well, let me tell you, he does. But yeah, that's another one where you have to like be quiet, but I don't think that one taps into your like your mic. I think that one's just you just have to be quiet in game. I'm trying to find a good picture of that thing, but I can't find any without some random streamer that I don't care about's face attached to it. Oh, if you can, if you guys can picture a centaur from Fallout 3, but like a little bit bigger, like maybe the size of like a small horse, and faster with the girl from the Ring's face. If you can picture that, that's what it is. And if you can picture that, then there is help out there. just want to let you know.
I still think that the rake from In Silence is rougher.
Oh yeah, no, that thing's fucking horrifying. Mostly because like I can't tell if its bottom jaw is missing or if it ever had a bottom jaw.
No, I think that its rib cage it's also its teeth.
Oh. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I have a picture from it's the trailer thumbnail, but it's It's not a bad one. I'll post that one in the Discord really quick. Yeah, there we go. I'm just so
Also,
yeah, also good.
that.
I'm still really glad that they went with the Rake. The Rake was one of my favorite creepypastas back in the era of peak creepypasta popularity, but nobody ever did anything cool with it.
Right.
I think there was one other there's one other game that attempted to do something that probably could have been pretty cool, but like the developer abandoned it. So it's the one.
Yeah,
It's the one
that
on Steam.
I
Just
think
called
is
Rake.
literally just called the Rake.
I think it's just called Rake, but yeah. I don't know. The Rake in that one looked real goofy. Yeah. Okay. Here's a screenshot from that one. No, not that. Did it not download? Fuck you, it didn't download. Download it. I am being made full of. Okay, yeah. Here's that one. That game. I don't know. That one's pretty. That one's pretty goofy, but up until In Silence, that was the only time, I think, other than like maybe a fringe like indie game on Game Jolt or something. I think that was the only time anybody tried to do anything with the Rake.
Right.
But I know why it looks like that in that game, because that's pretty close to that like one image that accompanies the Rake creepypasta. That's like as old as the internet itself.
Sure.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. No, I knew what image you were talking about.
But no, I think that's why I like In Silence so much, because they looked at that and they were like, okay, but what if it was an actual godforsaken demon of the night?
It was worse.
They looked at that and said, yeah, that's pretty spooky, but what if it was like pants shittingly spooky? You know what other one has never had a good game made of it? There have been games made of it, like indie games and stuff, but none of them good. Jeff the Killer.
You cut out for like half of that. What did you say?
I said there haven't been any like good horror games made around Jeff the Killer.
That's because Jeff the Killer is a bad, shitty creepypasta.
Yeah, but he looks scary, and sometimes that's all you need. I feel like that should be a slam dunk.
He's just okay. That one image, the image of Jeff the Killer, like that's the scary one, right? Anything else is just like so nothing. It's just a guy. It's just a guy in a hoodie. He's got a knife. He'll probably stab you and it'll hurt like a whole bunch. But that's not the same thing as like this cosmic horror fucking twig monster that is the Rake.
Yeah, but have you ever thought about turning down the saturation on that one image of Jeff the Killer?
Not particularly. Why?
Alright, because alright. So there's the one. And here's the one with like all of the bloom and shit turned off. I would argue it's worse.
Yeah, that is worse.
Here, I'm gonna hang on. We're gonna. Yeah, perfect. It literally doesn't matter. Like of what. I just need. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the good shit, as they say. Yeah, this one too, definitely. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that, so I'm just gonna post some pictures of puppies to scroll it up a bit. If that's okay with the class, there we go. That's nice. Now I don't have that staring at me on my monitor anymore.
Alright, I got a puppy too. Hold on.
Okay.
Alright, here's a dog for you.
Why have you done this?
What?
I'm gonna fight. I'm fighting back the only way I know how. Hang on. This is probably real interesting to everybody not viewing the fucking YouTube video, the Discord chat. So to recap, we got Jeff the Killer's, several cute pictures of dogs. If you can just picture some cute dogs. Then we got Jeff the Killer if he was a dog.
AKA smiledog.jpg.
And here I got my own smile dog. Jesus Christ, how horrifying. And now
Right,
we have posted a picture of my dog.
Dingo.
Yes.
He is a fucking idiot.
He is 100% the dumbest motherfucker.
He is also the best, though.
He is. Duke is also best. So while that picture of Duke is uploading, do you remember when we played when you were down, we played Talking Super Jeopardy?
Yeah.
Right? And
What
there
about
was
it?
You remember how we oh, there's Duke. Remember how I got that question wrong, that po' boy question, because it was like poor boy?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. I have never been, and I had to really think about this. If this is a true statement, and I've decided that it is, I have never been this fucking angry in a gas station before. Why is that photo 2.5 megabytes? Well, in a minute. Jesus fucking Christ. But while we're waiting on that, while we're waiting on why I've never been so fucking angry inside a gas station before, now that we are like half an hour in, have you brought any real topics?
No, I'm gonna be honest. I planned on coming here and just bullshitting with you, just about work and, how I'm angry that they took away the lime skittle for like an hour and 30 minutes somehow.
Wait, what do you mean they took away the lime skittle for an hour and 30 minutes? What does that mean?
Like, that's just what I was gonna bullshit about for the length of this podcast.
But wait, who took away the lime
the
skittle?
Company. The Skittle Company took away the lime skittle. The green Skittles inside Skittles aren't lime anymore. They haven't been for quite some time.
Oh, what are they?
They're green apple.
Were they not
This
always?
apparently has not affected your life as much as it affected mine.
No, I don't eat Skittles that much.
That's like my favorite candy. Aside from gummy worms, I'm sorry, specifically sour gummy worms are my
I was gonna say, hey man, I just learned the other day that sour Skittles are still around.
Yeah, thank Christ above. But no, dude.
Oh, there it is.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
I was
it's
real
called-
fucking angry.
Nobody says poor boy.
Well,
May I
Hux.
have one poor boy sandwich.
Well-
if somebody said that shit to me, I would stab them in the street.
Fucking Hux gas station apparently calls it that. You can get for $3.99 EBT approved. You can get a poor boy on pretzel bun.
I don't want it. You know why I don't want it? Because it's not a fucking poor boy. It is a po' boy. It is pronounced and spelled po' boy.
I mean, I know that. Hang on, I'm gonna. What happens? What happens if I try and Google po' boy? Oh, what do you know? I get images of the po' boy sandwich.
Yeah, how fucking about that?
Look, it even says all. Okay, so it's got po' boy as you wrote it with the fucking apostrophe, and then on the fucking basically the wiki, it says alternative names: po' boy with a dash, and then po' boy with no enhancements.
No.
Nowhere does it say poor boy.
Fuck you, Jeopardy. Who writes the questions for Jeopardy? Is this some like Ivy League? Fuck the Ivy League. This has nothing to do with anything anymore. But fuck the Ivy League.
Fuck the Ivy League. So we it would probably be what's the word? Irresponsible of us to completely avoid this. At time of recording, it is technically
6, 2020.
Yeah. But just barely. So, it's technically either real late Thursday night or real early Friday morning, however you want to look at it. This fucking ongoing election, right?
I hate Nevada, I think.
Why do you hate Nevada?
Because they need to count faster. Because I want this to be over. I'm just tired of talking about it. I realistically, I just don't give a shit who wins anymore. I know Joe Biden is probably going to be our president, and there's a whole myriad of things to come from that. But, fuck it, whatever. I'm just so worn out of politics.
I have had a completely different takeaway from this whole thing since I've been looking at the numbers for all the states and the states, the counties, the popular vote, just looking at the numbers, the percentage, and the statistics since election night. And in my lifetime, I don't think I've ever seen my country so harshly divided. And that's fucking depressing.
Oh, I mean, No, I feel that, but it's already like without actually getting to see the graph. Like I'm looking at the fucking electoral map like right now, right? And I totally understand what you mean, but without even getting to see like an electoral map like this for the past 4 years since the first night, like I knew that this is about what it looked like.
Yeah, like I knew that we were
Not to generalize an entire nation, but this is also America, so fuck you, us.
well, like I knew that we were a country divided, but I didn't know like how bad.
Yeah, pretty rough, mi amigo.
Like everything's pretty much a 50-50 split. Or like close to it.
Yeah.
This is Civil War Part 2 Electric Boogaloo territory.
Funny enough, that's also been getting memed about. Excuse me, for the past like 8 years. So, oh, excuse me again. Yeah, that's on track.
Right. I think we really, really need somebody to invade us. Or at least try.
Oh, we could always hit up Russia and see what they're doing.
Like,
It looked really fun when Charlie Sheen did it that one time.
I'm just saying, nothing brings the United States together faster than a good old attempted invasion.
Do you think Japan got their battle mech working? You think they want to test that out? Somebody should hit up old Shinzo Abe. See what he's doing. See if he maybe wants to nuke the U.S.
Look, I'm with that, but I also think their battle mech is really cool, and I don't.
That you're with that. Hold on, disclaimer: we are not with the nuking of the United States of America. All right.
No, I'm on board with the battle mech thing, but like I think it's really cool, and I don't want to break it. Like I don't want to be put in a position where we have to break it because I'd rather not.
I mean, that's really fair, actually. So, you ever seen Pacific Rim?
Mostly. Why? I mean, it's been well documented that I think that movie's stupid. And doesn't make any sense.
I know this, and I disagree with you.
But everyone does, and I don't know why.
No, I mean, I respect your opinion. I just really like that movie. I understand what you mean. Like, there are definitely problems with that movie. I just really like it. My thing being, if we were in, like, a Pacific Rim, like, situation, and you were, like, let's just, in theory, you were, like, some government, like, higher up.
Yeah.
At what point would you just say fuck it? Because I think I would say fuck it pretty early on.
Oh, yeah. No, if I was, probably. Especially if, like, if all events around me, like, even though I'm a government higher up, like, I didn't have enough say to dissuade all the events around me, and it went in the same direction as Pacific Rim, I'd be out. I'd be out very quickly. I'd be like, fuck this. This is dumb.
Like, none of our conventional weaponry was hurting it, so we had to literally make a world government to come together to make big fighty robots.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Everything about that sounds horribly impractical.
Yeah. Well, okay, since we brought it up, I guess I'll go over, uh, for official podcast cataloging purposes, my main issue with Pacific Rim. My main issue being the absurdity of the necessity of two completely separate
Two
people,
pilots and
two pilots
having them
whose brains need to be like completely in sync to pilot the mech. And every time I bring that up, people are like, "Well, no, that's the whole point." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, here's my thing. It didn't have to be that way. You say that that's the point and that they had to do that or it wouldn't work. But somebody somewhere designed that mech to not use like a fucking remote control, like a fucking RC car or something. Somebody designed it specifically to be controlled in the most ass way possible, and that's fucking stupid."
Yeah, no, like it's cool for like the theming of like the movie and stuff and whatever, and it's fun, you know, fighting Godzilla, popcorn action, and all that. But like, no, I totally get you. Like, I don't like popcorn movie
If we could
action aside. Like, that's just a dumb way to design a fighting robot.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's the dumbest fucking thing. There was so many better ways. You could have remote controlled it. You could have designed it to just use one fucking pilot. If we're building massive fuck off battle mechs, why can't we build slightly smaller robots to pilot the motherfucker? There are just so many better ways. And if it was like a time constraint thing, then just build a basically fucking like Wile E. Coyote this shit. Build a fucking like fake ass female Godzilla to distract him for a bit while you figure out the logistics. Or just just paint a tunnel on a wall.
Thanksgiving. No. You just blow up a Thanksgiving like dragon balloon or something. If it worked
I mean, they don't.
against the Nazis, why wouldn't it work against Godzilla?
Wait, when did it work against the Nazis?
Are you seriously not aware that we... Okay.
Look, I know we did some wacky shit, but no, I'm not aware of this.
We had, I think it was, like, specifically, like, the British forces, but they had
naturally
inflatable, like, tanks and jeeps and stuff, and just kind of moved them around every once in a while to make them think that we occupied, like, certain areas.
Which one is the real Solid Snake?
Or that we had, like, way more forces and way more shit than we actually had. I don't know the name of the operation specifically, but this is a real thing. Like, hold on. I'm just gonna... Nazis fooled by balloons.
Damn, Germany, you guys are stupid. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. We love you, Germany. Keep an eye on Angela Merkel, though. I don't trust her.
Apparently we also did this... Apparently we also did this on D-Day. They were parachuting... Like, we threw out dummies in parachutes. It had inflatable tanks there, too.
I mean, if it works, it works.
There's... There's nobody to call it a war crime if they can't document it.
What?
No, that's just general advice.
No. They can't call it a war crime if there's nobody left to call it a war crime.
Oh, shit.
What?
I mean, I don't know how credible this is, but I just read a headline that said Putin may quit as Russia's president amid fears he has Parkinson's disease.
There is no finger fucking way that that man has Parkinson's disease. I refuse to believe that.
Man, how unfortunate for the majority of Nevada that Reno and Las Vegas exist.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. Reno and Las Vegas is the majority of Nevada. Nevada might as well be a 2-county state.
I also know that. So let me rephrase that. How unfortunate for the heartland of Nevada.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is Reno typically votes Republican.
Really?
Yeah.
That
It's really weird to see. I forgot what county it is, but it's really weird to see that county blue. Las Vegas isn't surprising. They usually vote Democrat, but Reno's usually Republican. What's also interesting is if you compare this year's election map to last year's, other than like I think Arizona. Yeah, I think other than Arizona, I think it's basically identical to last year. Which means that like for the most part, despite the past 4 years of absolute unhinged bullshit, people have not budged.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, we're just super duper divided here.
No, it's fine. It's really fine. I know so. Because that's definitely what George Washington said right before he fucked off. He was like, make a two-party system and divide our nation slowly over the course of the next 200-something years. And then he went back to Mount Vernon and, like, died.
What? Hang on.
That's how it happened.
Let me make sure I'm not stupid.
You say, are you looking that up?
Okay. No, I was... You do know how George Washington died, though, right?
No, not off the top of my head. I think he got like turbo fucking sick, didn't he?
I mean, he didn't get turbo fucking sick. Here's the thing, though. So you know how today, if you wake up with a sore throat, you either take like a cough drop or you just ignore it because a sore throat's really not that big of a deal.
Oh yeah, no, I remember now.
Well, things were different in 1799. At approximately 2 a.m. on December 14th, 1799, the retired commander-in-chief woke up with a sore throat. And after a series of medical procedures, including a common practice at the time, which was to cut your fucking throat open and like just basically let your blood run to cure the sore throat, he lost like 40% of his blood and died.
Yep.
That's how George Washington died.
This country was founded on fucking morons. we had an entire fucking colony in Virginia that quote unquote mysteriously disappeared, and for some reason they were like generations later we found native tribes with a bunch of blue-haired white blonde-haired, blue-eyed, like, white people in these native tribes, and we still don't know what happened to Roanoke to this day. Oh, who could it have been? What did this?
Look, all I'm saying is, if you want to get completely technical, the very first leader of this country was a toothless psychopath.
Yes.
I mean, objectively speaking, George Washington was fucking nuts.
I mean, yes.
Like, we're an accident, is what we are. The only reason the Revolutionary War was even won is because France decided to show up and go, let's see where this shit takes us.
I mean, yeah.
And then we didn't even return the favor like we were supposed to.
I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do? Just go help out a whole other country in a war that you don't have anything to do with? What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Don't tell that to from the time period of the 50s to the 80s.
Oh no, that involved us. Those people were brown.
Only in the latter half.
No, if you see in America, if you're not white, you're just brown.
What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with that? Am I supposed to cut that?
So far,
I guess not. That's not the most offensive joke we've made on this podcast so far. Did I ever tell you about...
Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
Yeah. It happened right here. I'm sorry, Halloween is over.
Halloween is over.
You wouldn't know that from how scary things are right now, but...
Oh God.
What happened? Jesus Christ.
I just went to put the chip clip back on this thing of chips, and my finger said no, and it just went. It just fucking went. Look, let's see if we can't do it again. That was infinitely worse.
Sounded infinitely worse.
The amount of people that have called in to, I don't know if this is the same for you, but the amount of people that have called in at work and just openly complain about the election while they're ordering pizza has been awful.
I haven't heard anything like that, but I also haven't actually worked since election night. So
I got out on Halloween, and then I didn't have to go back until after election.
I see.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky.
But yeah, I haven't. I imagine if Joe Biden wins, which by the time this comes out, surely to God we'll know. But I imagine I'll start hearing stuff about it if that happens, being as I work in Kentucky, and Kentucky was not only the very first state called, but it was called for Donald Trump.
I'm looking at it.
Like, literally, as soon as because I had it pulled up, as soon as the polls fucking closed, like 7 o'clock sharp, BAM! Kentucky.
Let's see here. If you open up Indiana's map, you can see, like, how different the corner of the top right corner where I live is. I'm sorry, not top right, top left.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Hold on, I'm opening up my snipping tool so I can just throw it in the podcast episode log.
I'm legitimately surprised that Nashville went blue. Nashville, Memphis, and then whatever the fuck backwater county that nobody gives a shit about this is, all went blue. But yeah, that's for the most part, pretty much any like most major cities. Yeah. For the most part, most major cities have gone blue, and that's that's everywhere.
I was noticing that trend.
So that's one of the takeaways that has been being talked about in like the media from this is there's a very clear like line in the sand drawn between the types of people that live in major metropolitan areas and the types that don't.
Right.
So that's interesting.
I just want to go live in a rock hut in the, not the desert, but also not the coldness.
But I don't know. It's
No, that's it. That's the end.
Because you gotta think like, so since this is technically topical, you have a lot of people that complain about like the necessity of the electoral college, right?
Right.
But it's gonna take me forever to actually get to these pictures, I'm sure. But I have like an image here somewhere that, because here it is. There are a lot of people that argue against it, and I've always argued for it because I'm not dumb. And here's why it's completely necessary, even in this day and age, because and this is for anybody that doesn't know, Danny, I'm assuming that you know and understand this. So all of the areas in red there have the exact same population as the areas in orange.
Right.
And unless I'm fucked up about this one, and I don't believe I am, all of the areas in blue, I believe, have roughly the same population as that tiny area in red, and that area in red is Los Angeles.
Right. No, I'm aware of this. I'm aware of what the electoral college's function is.
Yeah. I mean, California as a state still has an obscenely stupid amount of electoral college votes.
Yeah.
Which look, people of California, people that live in California, I have nothing against you personally, but your state is a blight on the rest of us. I hate you, California.
I also hate California, but the worst part is I want to go so fucking bad. Just once. I just want to see it once.
The best.
I won't fucking go back.
The best way I've ever heard Los Angeles described was the one time Yahtzee went to Los Angeles. That one game reviewer, What We Like, because he actually went there to attend an E3 in person. This was last year, obviously. And he made the comment, he was like, have you ever been to Los Angeles? It's like somebody took a 7-Eleven with dodgy air conditioning and multiplied it into a city. And yeah, I really like that description.
The gist I've gotten. To be fair, that the same is also fucking true for Washington, D.C., but it's in a swamp, so...
Right. So, in the coming days, how much more legal do you think weed's gonna be?
Very. It already is. Oregon Oregon said fuck it and said like everything is kosher basically because they decriminalized all of it. All of it.
You know what? Someone had to do it. Let's see how it goes. Oh no, what just happened? How did that happen?
It's not legal in Oregon. It's just that it's decriminalized, but that is a pretty major step. Oregon just going, yeah, PCP is probably like medicinal.
Wait, hang on, give me a sec. Give me 1 second. Okay, we can continue. That was weird. I'll fix it later. What were you saying? I didn't get any of the parts about Oregon or PCP.
Okay. I was gonna say, so is DC is basically the same as LA. It's just in a swamp. And
Then I asked if you thought how legalized weed was going to be in the days going forward.
right, and I said a lot because it already is. Like a bunch of states are going medical and recreational right now. Like right now, I don't know when the mandate is going to happen to where it's like actually kosher. Probably January 1st of this next year because that's how it worked out for Illinois and Michigan last year. But Oregon decided that fuck it, shrooms are legal and all drugs have been declassified. Net survival guide.
Oh, like I said,
Some fucking lawmaker in Oregon was like, yeah, PC
was like
probably
some lawmaker was like, let's do all of it. But I don't know, man. Somebody had to do it, so we'll see how it goes.
It'll be fine probably.
Probably. I don't know.
Ow, my fucking
I know
finger.
Tennessee will never ever legalize it ever.
Are you shitting me? Your state is already on track to doing that.
On track is that's a strong way of putting it.
Look, pal. I live in fucking Indiana. Shut up. As far as I'm concerned, it's already legal there.
Look, it's got a rocky road. Like I don't even have like a fucking stake in it. I don't give a shit. I don't use it personally, but it's got a real rocky road here in Tennessee. Like
it's. I mean, I'm
look,
sure.
The reason it looks like it doesn't is because in my county specifically, the only way you're getting arrested for it, like the only way our police department is going to give a fuck, is if you're like using it while you're driving or like in public. And even then, if you're like behind a dumpster somewhere, they might be like, "Hey, stop it, get some help."
Well, I know there's definitely like a section in Tennessee where like they're starting to like move on it for like CBD oil and shit like that.
That's probably East Tennessee. Around Knoxville and
like
Gatlinburg.
Right.
Yeah, towards the mountains.
Right.
But I don't know. Tennessee's a weird state because there's a very noticeable difference between West, Middle, and East Tennessee.
Oh, for sure. Trust me, I know.
Like West Tennessee, like if you go to West Tennessee, unless you go all the way down to like Memphis, most of West Tennessee is probably what you'd expect if you think about Tennessee. But then you go to like Middle
Right.
Tennessee and you get a bunch of like still like it's like the weirdest goddamn thing. Every time I go to Middle Tennessee, I don't want to spend too much time there. But and for anybody that doesn't know, Middle Tennessee is like West Tennessee is the side with Memphis, but we're not counting Memphis. Middle Tennessee is like Nashville. So if you go anywhere in Middle Tennessee, you get a bunch of like suburbanites, but they're all like wearing like cowboy hats and shit. Like they're all like real suburban, like real like city types that you would see in
Right.
like
No. It just looks like you bought like the cowboy DLC for like The Sims 4.
yeah, exactly. And then if you go further to East Tennessee, you've got Knoxville and Gatlinburg, which are like bigger cities, and Gatlinburg is the whole Dolly Parton thing. Like Gatlinburg is like tourism central. The entire town was built around tourism. But beyond those two areas, all of East Tennessee is like mountain people.
Yeah.
So it's so
I
fucking weird.
wouldn't
Tennessee is so
go
fucking
there.
weird.
Mountain People, Tennessee is my least favorite Tennessee. Nothing personal. It's just that's the kind of area where Outlast 2 would happen, and I can't have that happen to me.
I've Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. I've been to Gatlinburg a couple times, like on vacation or whatever, and pretty much each time they've got like cabins that you can rent, like up in the mountains, and every time we rent one, I'm just like, man, this is one run of bad luck away from a horror movie. Like we're up here in the mountains, like in a fucking cabin. Nobody has any cell service. It's quite the drive to back to civilization, and that drive is down a mountain. It's it's interesting.
Oh, I mean, for sure.
Well, like okay, so the best parts about those vacations are the fact that like, so these are like really like nice cabins. Like they have like uh internet and shit, but like not as much internet as you can get up in the middle of like bumfuck Rocky Mountains or whatever. But
Right.
it's still just like a cabin up by itself. Like there are other cabins, but they're spaced like pretty well apart, like at least like 15 miles apart from each other. So like you're just in a cabin in the middle of the mountain wilderness, and like it's each one has like a little book where people can like write down their names, the date that they stayed there, and stuff that they saw. And there's just like page after page of saw a bear today.
Yeah. I'm sure.
It came right up to the cabin. I remember one year we went, and when it finally got dark, we like took off the cover to the hot tub, and there was just a fucking raccoon swimming for his life. And I was like, oh man, how long have you been here? What are we gonna do about this? How'd you even get in here? Like
I don't.
it was the
Oh,
saddest looking
so
thing.
that is pretty fucking sad. But and a good change of pace. So at work we've noticed this cat that's been showing up. He hangs out behind our work, like by the dumpsters where people like smoke or just like go outside to get a break from work. And he started showing up last week, and I was like, this fucking cat looks so familiar. Uh, and I I kept seeing him. He kept showing up in the work group chat because this cat just kept fucking visiting us like every fucking night. And turns out that's my friend Deanna's cat, Gizmo. He's just an outside. He runs around like the neighborhood. He always comes back to her house, but like he just roams around. And I didn't put that together until fucking tonight because I got a real good look at him, and I was like, "You motherfucker!" I was like, "Go home." You ever had an animal show up to your Domino's?
Yeah, his name is Kevin. And he's actually a grown man. But he shows up every Wednesday morning without fail, asking for an extra large pizza that we have to run through 3 times because he puts so much shit on it that it won't goddamn cook. And every single time he asks for salt and ketchup, which we do not have.
That's not technically true anymore.
Well, he doesn't like mustard.
What does he get that he wants salt and ketchup with?
A pizza.
He wants salt and ketchup with his pizza? With his, like, extravaganza, extreme-ass fucking pizza?
Yeah.
Does he just get every topping?
Oh, man, basically.
Why?
I don't know.
Have you told him that you're giving him, like, 3 pepperonis, basically? And like, the equivalent of that portion sizing with, like... He doesn't even get a bite with, like... everything.
Don't tell me, tell Kevin. Like, can you even fucking fathom how heavy this goddamn pizza is?
I'm thinking about it as we speak, actually. I'm thinking about how different the weight is with each size.
Just... like, I don't know, man. It's Kevin. It's
Have you had a different animal show up to your guys' work before?
Oh, yes, we technically have, but like not. So, okay. So we had this lady, right? Pull up to the pickup window and to get her pizza. And as soon as I opened the window, it was like getting punched in the face. There's a very pungent smell. And I happened to like glance, and I was surprised to see this person out and about. They looked like someone you would see on the show Hoarders. And like
right.
the car was like this was the weirdest thing. The outside of the car looked like it had just been washed. The inside was disgusting and falling apart and full of like trash. Like I don't know how she hasn't been pulled over. You can't see out the back goddamn window. Trash.
Right.
And so I'm just trying not to make eye contact with this person, like feeling like slightly bad for them because like something has to go wrong somewhere for your life to get like that. And I'm just trying to catch this person out and make eye contact, and I fucking notice something moving out of the corner of my eye, and I look, and there's a goddamn by the Jesus mouse crawling out of this fucking woman's open window. And I'm trying not to say anything about it, and she's clearly not noticing it. So it crawls out and down the car, and I give her change really quick, because I'm like, okay,
you don't want this mouse to crawl.
Yeah, I don't want it coming in. We're getting there. I don't want it coming inside the store. So I close the window, and I get her pizza, and as I'm handing it to her, out of the corner of my eye, I see more movement. As I'm like leaning out the window handing her her pizza, the mouse has ascended the wall and is now perched on the ledge right next to me. Like optimal position to come in the store. So I give her a pizza. I'm like, thank you. I slam the window. And now I'm just standing there staring at this fucking mouse. Like, what do I do? And before I can even do anything about it, a fucking second person pulls up to the window. And now I have to hope they don't notice the mouse. I have to open the window and give them their shit and pretend I don't see the mouse. So somehow I help that person, like, despite this mouse actively trying to get into the store, and me, like, just acting like a fucking loon, like, just erratically slamming the window and, like, opening it slightly, and, like,
Right.
just barely sticking it, like, basically giving them their pizza sideways. Somehow they don't fucking notice this goddamn mouse, and they drive off, and I turn around and I tell this one girl, I was like, Jade. And she's like, what? And I was like, come here. And she's like, what? And I was like, I was basically like, Alan, grab that.
Grab that.
So, she goes outside with like a cup and like one of the like plastic lids. And I'm like, I don't care what you do, just relocate this thing. So it's still like perched on the thing, so she goes to try and get it into the cup, and it instead is like, oh no. And it runs down the building and tries to like run. And I stick my head out the window and I was like, please get that, please get it. So now she's running around our fucking parking lot chasing a goddamn mouse. And she eventually caught it, and
This
like,
is why you guys need a shop cat, man.
look, she eventually caught it, and her and another driver drove it somewhere and like relocated it away from civilization, away from us. But probably the best part was it ends up running into the back lot where all the drivers park, and she's like chasing it around, and I guess Nolan next door saw her, my old boss, he saw her running around out front before like running to the back. So he opens the back door and he just goes, what are you doing? And I just went, Nolan, go back inside.
Die.
That was the only time in like the 6 years that I've known him, 5 of which he was my boss, that I've ever like yelled at him, like given him an order. I was just like, this does not concern you.
Concern you.
But yeah, no, that
Penn Station to be target to this mouse.
yeah, it was something. But yeah, that's probably the only time was that fucking mouse. So Kevin and then that mouse. But yeah, that was the worst. I'm watching Jade run around the parking lot with like a styrofoam cup and a plastic lid chasing a fucking mouse. And I'm like, this is dumb. This is dumb. Seth Rogen can write something this dumb.
I assure you he could. He could have made it dumber.
I don't like that, man.
Do you remember that? Okay, so
When the script for Sausage Party leaked online and everybody thought it was a prank because everybody convinced themselves that even Seth Rogen wouldn't write something that fucking stupid, and then it came out.
Do you remember when? I don't remember if it was like a thing on like Tumblr or like an AMA, but you could ask Seth Rogen, questions, whatever, and somebody took the time to just fucking like ream him, which is not cool. Like I don't like the guy, but like that's not cool.
Right.
But his response was like this, that, and the other thing. You know, like I'm trying my fucking very best here, man. And then that was like literally around the time that that whole Sausage Party script thing happened, and somebody like somebody retweeted that or whatever the fuck, and they were like, "Wow, imagine your best being Sausage Party."
Yeah, no, the reason I don't like Seth Rogen is because and maybe like you could look at me having this mentality and make the argument that in choosing to not do this that I'm a fucking idiot, because clearly look at how well it's working out for people like Seth Rogen. But I don't like Seth Rogen for the same reason I don't like people like YouTubers like Rice Gum or the Paul Brothers or something. Is because I am like morally against. I feel like a moral obligation to resist making things that I know for a fact will be successful strictly because they play to the absolute lowest common denominator of people. I don't believe in making things that keep dumb people dumb.
I mean, like, yeah,
Like Seth, like
but I mean, to
I
be fair,
I
like,
I've gone on record as quoting that I hate when things say like, we polled the average American or the average person, because the average person is a fucking moron. And I feel like people like Seth Rogen know that full well, so they know they can make something like Sausage Party and make a shitload of money because the average person is an idiot and they'll eat it up. But I don't agree with that.
no, I mean, like, Seth Rogen kind of is just like the average guy. He just has a lot of money.
I mean, I guess he's good for keeping that one actor whose name I can't remember employed. That one that's like in every single Seth Rogen movie.
You think about his man Jay?
Probably.
I don't even know the guy's last name. I just know that his name's Jay.
Yeah, probably. Hey, did you know that they're classifying the Sonic the Hedgehog movie as a superhero film?
Yes, I was well aware of that. Thank you. I mean, the worst part is like before Sausage Party, like he had like as a writer, Seth Rogen made some decent shit. Like he made Superbad, I'm sorry, he wrote Superbad. He wrote Pineapple Express. I think This Is the End still holds up.
Yeah.
But that is also kind of like a haha funny dick joke American comedy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't I'm just a lot of like those types of comedies, I guess, like your Step Brothers and your American Pies, your scary movies. A lot of those, like the first Scary Movie, I'll give a pass. I liked that one. I can't deny. But basically, like a lot of your, I guess, American comedies or your parody type comedies, I can't do it. They make me mad.
Parody type comedies have been, I think, dead in the water for quite some time. But there was that horrible like once Scary Movie had even like a taste of success. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. I'm talking. Okay. You know what? We're gonna take the time to do this.
I think, and here's something that I've never understood, because, so, I've worked like exclusively in the service industry my entire life, specifically in the food service industry, and I find that like the average food service employee will like talk about uh what's his fucking name, like Will Ferrell. They'll talk about Will Ferrell and movies that like Will Ferrell is in, and movies that like Seth Rogen writes. Like they're each one is like its own fucking Citizen Kane, and I don't get how they can have that mentality, because Will Ferrell, I'm sure Will Ferrell is like a really like great guy, like a decent person. I can't stand him as an actor. I can't stand any of his roles because every single one of his roles seems to boil down to like man child, and the reason I can't fucking stand that is because because the reason that would be funny to like we'll say middle class America is because that's typically a kind of person that they're never going to have to deal with. So from the outside looking in, it's like haha funny man child. But as someone that works in the service industry, that's a real fucking person that I have to deal with on a daily. So that's not funny to me.
Right.
I forgot Epic Movie existed.
Yeah, you forgot superhero movie existed too.
Yeah, I did.
You know
Yeah,
what else you
that's why.
forgot about? You know what else you forgot about? You know what else you fucking forgot about?
What?
Disaster movie.
Yeah, well.
So think about it again, America. Was this worth it?
I mean, at the time, yeah.
I tell you what, the first I haven't watched the third one in a while, but I just watched the second one on Halloween. That is still pretty good, decent.
Well, the reason I don't mind the first scary movie is because, like, at the time when it came out, it was parodying the thing that had been the hot shit at the time, which was just like an overabundance of like slasher flicks and horror movies.
Right, but the problem with Scary Movie is that it's a parody of a parody. The like Scream is just this
Yeah,
this concept but better because it doesn't spoon feed everything to you because Scary Movie was made for the lowest, like that was and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that type of comedy, like now and again, like as a concept, like lowest common denominator, like haha fart joke, like there's nothing wrong with that, but like uh, we've already explained this earlier, I don't need to go into it again, you get what I'm saying.
yeah. It's like, well, it's like you make Scary Movie. All right, we had a chuckle. Maybe in another 6 to 8 years, you make another one. You do it again about superhero movies, for example. Just because that's the thing that's at the top of my screen, and that's what's been the hot shit for going on. Who fucking knows how long now? And then it's been 6 to 8 years since Scary Movie. Haha, we have another chuckle. But when you don't fucking stop, when you take the fucking Family Guy approach, then it ceases to be funny and starts becoming grating. It's like pulling my chair out from under me every time I go to sit down. I'm gonna stop having a good-hearted chuckle about it. I'm gonna start hitting you in the face.
I'm gonna start beating your ass.
But that's how I feel about that.
Man, it's hold on. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking of. The guys who made Super Troopers also made a slasher movie, and I don't remember if it holds up because I have not seen it probably since I was like 14 or 15. But I remember really liking Club Dread. That's something that's like right in the middle, in between like Scream and Scary Movie.
Right.
Like the like perfect middle ground between like serious and parody. It's definitely worth a watch.
Mm.
Is that Matthew Lillard? Probably.
I don't know. I still, yeah. I still really like this classic. You can't beat a good old fashioned B horror comedy.
Yeah. Was it the original or the second one where someone was pushing someone in a wheelchair and then all the zombies showed up, so the person the person pushing the wheelchair left the person in the wheelchair?
I think that was the second one.
I am pretty sure that was Red versus Dead, but
Yeah, that's the second one.
okay, yeah. That was pretty. It was funny, but it's also really fucked up.
I just like I like the fucking one of the posters, like promotional posters for Dead Snow 2 as the tagline, the sequel you did not see coming. And that's one of my favorite things ever. Yeah. No, I'll readily admit that Dead Snow's real stupid, but I like it a lot.
Oh, it's real stupid, like real dumb. Dead Snow 3 is happening.
I don't know if I signed up for that.
According to this article from 2017 from BloodyDisgusting.com, which must be the same thing as like the Bible,
Must be.
Dead Snow 3 is happening and will feature zombie Hitler.
Okay, I'm starting to get more on board.
Alright, well, with what little I can find on Dead Snow 3, a constant does seem to be the words zombie Hitler, so I will have you know.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Speaking of weird Nazi zombie movies, did you ever watch that movie Overlord?
No. No, I have not.
It's 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 different than what I was expecting. But it's kind of interesting. It feels more like okay, so you know how Nazi zombies felt when it started in uh, World at War, and
Yeah.
how that had its own like this is this is like kind of like World War II, but it's like its own thing. Whereas like in World War II, they tried to link the Nazi zombies to like actual like war experiments, and they tried to make it feel more grounded.
Right.
It just kind of felt like that. Like Overlord, if you've played the first map in World War II Zombies, that you've basically seen Overlord, kind of.
Right. So, okay. This is who fucking wrote that? Celebanswers.com. You know that's not like a real thing that like normal like middle class families do, right? So I was scrolling through fucking my Google newsfeed trying to find something to wrap up on, and I came across a story about how I guess when Billie Eilish or whatever uh, had photos of her posted where she was just wearing like normal clothes. The internet did what the internet does. The sad small peepee men of the internet uh, body shamed her or whatever. Which to any normal functioning adult, you look at that and you're like, whatever, fuck them. They have small peepee. But to the people that don't use the internet on the regularly, like Kat Dennings apparently, she had to make like a fucking Twitter rant defending Billie Eilish and doing what we know as feeding the trolls. But anyways,
Of course.
that as I was reading that, like it popped up like another people also ask. I was like, did Billie Eilish grow up rich? So I was like, okay. So I tapped on that, and this is what it gave me. At 18 years of age, Billie Eilish's net worth was approximately $6 million. But was she poor before she found fame? Billie Eilish was never poor in a general sense, but there were instances in her childhood where her family couldn't afford certain things, such as horse riding lessons. Like, that's just a normal fucking thing.
I remember when I don't.
Yeah, no, man, I remember when, I was a kid, my family could only afford to get me 2 candy bars instead of 3. uh, we are we are very out of touch with each other as a society.
Hold on, I have an Arrested Development screenshot for this.
Oh, okay. Is that what we're gonna close on?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's one banana, Michael. What could it cost? $10?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Let's take this time and instead of rushing everybody out of the episode, let's take this time to say get to know your neighbors if possible. Find
I
out
know
what's
that.
going on with them, what they're doing, what the people in your community, your neighborhood are doing.
Yeah, man. Just get out.
Get out of the house. Go get a corn dog from Sonic. Sometimes they're like 50 cents, and that's really cool. Just go do it.
Yeah. Go, unless you're living in like the south side of Chicago or something. Just go learn something. Go learn a little bit about your neighborhood. What? Look, if I lived in the south side of Chicago, I would hear this advice and be like, I'm good. Can I learn from the window?
No, I wouldn't go near the window either, dog. No, that's not a joke.
this isn't ha ha times.
If you live on the south side of Chicago and listen to this podcast, big ups to you for living in the equivalent of the Hunger Games and coming out on top every day.
Yeah, like, look, listen, Chicago.
Also hit me up on Twitter if you live on south side.
I say this having been through Chicago now. Chicago, listen. Just as an outside observer, I see several ways that Illinois proper would benefit from you leaving. Just do your own thing, man. Become a city-state. Fuck it. Sky's the limit in 2020, America.
For me. Technically, Hobart's a Chicago suburb, man.
You'll be good. Don't worry about it.
No. Does that mean I would get cut out of Indiana? Would we have our own taxes?
Probably, yeah. Look, man, you're between a rock and a hard place. Do you want to be part of Indiana or do you want to be part of Chicago?
I want to be dead.
That's it. That's the end. Good night, folks. Check us out on wherever you get your podcasts and also on YouTube at Practical Nonsense. Thanks for listening. God be with us all. Or, well, whatever you believe in. If you believe in, like, if your shoe talks to you because you have schizophrenia, may your shoe be with us all. But,
yeah. Like, your shoe or Jesus, or, like,
or this picture of Jesus wearing sunglasses, holding a skateboard, giving up, like, a rock and roll symbol that I keep in my wallet. May he be with us.
This, you know what? The actual one true God is the sweet mango habanero sauce from Domino's.
Also try Mrs. Renfro's mango habanero salsa. It is good shit.
This isn't a sponsor,
but it could be.